Alice Frame.
Alice Frame. This is Stephen Frame. I called you at your house first. I thought you said at the party you were taking it easy these days.
That's true. I'm not working full-time at the present, but I fill in when there's a shortage. I really shouldn't be on the phone now. I'm working intensive care. Was there a reason you called?
Oh, yes, I wanted to hear your voice. I know the feeling isn't exactly mutual, but I pulled up stakes and came halfway around the world to talk to you.
No one asked you to, Stephen.
Yes, I'm well aware of that. But you did take some pity on me. You talked to me last night, until we were interrupted.
Mac has every right to interrupt us. I'm engaged to him.
Yes, as you keep reminding me. But surely he can understand two people catching up for old time's sake?
Why should he understand? I don't. Not when the two people are you and I.
Alice, I'm sure as hell not going to run back to Australia with my tail between my legs. And I can't go around avoiding you. It wouldn't be possible. This town is too small.
Yes, well, Bay City might be small, but it's still big enough for the two of us.
This whole wide world isn't big enough for the two of us, my darling, if we're not together.
Please don't talk like that, Stephen.
All right. No more schoolboy mush. I'll concede the time has passed. If you will.
What do you mean? I have. You're the one who seems to be having some kind of problem.
Why is it that every time there seems there's even a possibility we might be alone together, you get frightened? You talk indifferent, but you don't act.
I have to go now.
Have lunch with me.
There's no reason to.
Well, there's every reason in the world. Prove to me that you don't care. Prove it to yourself. Today? Tall boys?
No, not tall boys. The hospital cafeteria. I only have an hour.
I hate cafeterias.
I only have an hour, and I'm not regular staff. I have last priority on time. It'll have to be 1:30.
I'll be there.
You know, you don't have to do that. There's a man in the lobby at Core, and he comes up to Mac's office every day to shine his shoes. I'm sure he wouldn't mind doing it for Mac's heir.
Well, sweetheart, I don't know about being Mac's heir, but I think I can shine my own shoes. Though not every day, not by a long shot. So, do they pass inspection, Sarge?
The guy in the lobby does a much better job.
I don't think anybody's going to notice, to tell you the truth.
Well, I think Mac will. Oh, Sandy, I know that these are little things, but I don't think you take them seriously enough.
I don't take them seriously at all.
Well, I think you're wrong. I think you should.
Yeah?
I mean, you're not working at a grungy newspaper anymore. You're working at Corey Publishing, and you have to look the part. Mac looks the part. Did you see how terrific Steve Frame looked last night? I mean, these men know what they have to do. They are impressive men, and they look it.
Yeah.
I mean, even Shakespeare said, clothes make the man.
Yeah, well, Shakespeare also said, to thine own self be true.
There's a shoehorn in the closet. Do you want me to get it for you? If you put your shoes on like that, you break down the back of the heel. Those are expensive shoes. They look old. They're brand new, and they look sloppy.
All right, let's get something straight once and for all, Cecile. I am who I am, and nothing you can say is going to turn me into somebody else, so don't try. Now, I know that things like fancy clothes and expensive lunches and meeting the right people are real important to you. But they're not to me, and they never will be. Now, I know that they're important to you because you mention them all the time. Now, maybe I am a slob, but you're a social climber. Now, it's not a trait I find particularly attractive, but I never said anything about it.
No, until now, and you said plenty.
Look, maybe my shoes are a little run down. And I know that my hair is too long for you. I know that because you've complained about that, too. Let me tell you something. You could be a little less,
Less what?
Nothing, forget.
No, tell me.
No, it's nothing I said. Let's drop it.
No, go on and tell me. What were you going to say? Maybe I could be a little less pregnant? I can't be. I can't be, Sandy. I can't make this baby go away. And no matter how loud you yell at me or how much you wish I could, I can't.
Another World.
So, when will the house be finished?
Well, I'm hoping pretty near the deadline you gave us, give or take a few days.
Denver, Diana's coming next week, and exactly the day the house is supposed to be finished. Denver, there's something you should understand. I don't like my deadlines met early. Probably means the work wasn't done properly. But I don't like them extended either. Ever. Ever. So what's the problem?
Well, Blaine's working day and night.
That's what she's being paid for.
There's a great deal to do, more than any of us anticipated.
And that's your mistake.
I'm sorry. Look, Blaine tells me the Carrington house was uninhabitable. She and Jordan lived a lifestyle neither you nor Diana would appreciate.
That's Blaine's mistake.
We both know she was a different person then. You liked what she did with your penthouse, didn't you?
Oh, very much.
And the party was a success?
Resounding.
Then you'll like what she's doing with your house, trust me.
I do. That's why you're in charge.
Mr. Frame, I don't want to be in charge. At least not of Blaine. I just can't oversee her and run a one-man legal department.
Now, Curtis said you were getting a paralegal. Haven't you done that yet?
I only found out I could 2 days ago.
Well, what does it take, Denver? You have to call a couple of employment agencies. You don't even have to do that. That's what you have Quinn for. So what do you have to do yourself? A few hours of interviews. I don't get it.
I don't have a few hours. I'm too busy being attorney, cum interior designer, cum errand boy. I'm damned good at the law. I'm not so good at picking wallpaper samples. And if you must know, I'm not that interested in it.
Are you trying to tell me something?
I'll finish the projects on my desk, including cooking your dinner tonight if that's one of them. But when they're finished, no more. Better you hire a jack of all trades and let me do what I was hired for.
All right. You're a lawyer. What about the building permits?
Have you seen my peach shoe around here anywhere? I just had it here. I can't believe this.
No, are you sure you had it?
Yes.
Oh, wait a second. Here it is. Well, that guy down in the lobby must visit your office after he takes care of Mac's shoes.
I said I was sorry.
Uh-huh.
You know, it might work out in your favor.
What?
I mean, you could be one of those rich, eccentric businessmen in designer jeans.
I don't wear designer jeans, just regular old work jeans.
Oh, excuse me. Oh, that was rather social climby of me, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A rich, eccentric businessman in
Regular old work jeans. Yeah, I like that. Sounds a lot better. Regular old work jeans.
I hate to fight with you. I don't know. I guess I just am anxious to be married. Oh, that'll cross off one big worry.
I mean, this child is going to have parents, huh?
Child has parents, you and me.
No, I mean official parents.
Sandy.
Oh,
really?
come on, sweetheart. Baby girl, I'm just kidding.
Oh, don't, kid. Don't. Kid about our baby. Don't do that. Ever.
You're right, sweetheart. I'm sorry, okay? Boy, all it seems like we're doing this morning is taking turns apologizing to each other. Baby girl, I love this child. And we're going to be married as soon as we can. Although, to tell you the truth, I honestly don't know when that's going to be. I mean, trying to fit this thing in between your divorce coming through and Mac's wedding and And me being railroaded into this new job.
Well, I should think it'd take priority.
Over your divorce, sweetheart, polygamy is against the law.
No, I don't mean that. I mean over Mac and Alice's wedding and your new job. Sandy, I should think that this would be the most important event of your life.
Sweetheart, it is. The most important thing, well, at least to me, is a man's wife and his child. Although, it looks like I may be getting both of them at the same time.
Well, you'll be getting both of them on the same day, if we don't hurry. Come here. Come here, Fred. Sit down.
Now, you're not going to make me late on my
No. Just
first day of the job, are you?
I feel like... Just say it. I have this awful feeling that you haven't loved me in the same way since I told you about lying to Jamie.
Baby, that's over and done with.
Is it really?
Look, you explained it. Now, I have to tell you, I don't completely see how it was all done for love. I mean, I know that you telling Jamie that we were having an affair when we weren't got you what you wanted. He's gone and I'm here, but
And I told you that I wouldn't lie to you anymore. No more lies, no more secrets. I did tell you I was pregnant, right?
Yeah, that's true, you did.
So as far as you're concerned, it's just past history, right?
Yeah, forgiven and forgotten, okay?
I wish I could be sure of that. Oh, and I wish I were married to you right now. I'm just so upset about this whole thing, you know? It's gotten me so upset. I'm so worried. I feel like I could even lose the baby or something. I'm so worried.
All right, there have been questions about the supports. Apparently they're rather novel. It's probably a mistake, but it's got to be corrected before we can get clearance, which we'd better do pretty soon. There's that penalty clause in case we're late finishing the building.
You don't have to remind me. It's hanging over my head like an axe.
Why don't we take care of it as soon as you're through here?
Here it is. What's up?
Well, now that the cat is out of the bag, I'd like to get moving on this Edward Black business. Have you hired a paralegal yet?
No, but he's about to. Quinn, could you come in here a second?
Have you at any time ever assumed the name of Edward Black in a court of law?
Never. Quinn, I want you to call 3 employment agencies that specialize in paralegals. Have them each send over 2 for an interview.
Then there should be no legal problem.
Well, surely it can't be that simple.
Well, it's just a few forms to fill out.
I've just typed them. I'll bring them in for Mr. Frame's signature. I haven't had time to change the credit cards and checkbooks, as you asked, but I will take care of it this afternoon.
Fine. Thanks, Quinn.
That's all, then I'll be getting back to my desk. The phone's been ringing off the hook. Everybody wants an interview, statement.
You know what to tell them.
They want to speak to you personally.
If it gets too sticky, I'll talk to them.
All right.
Oh, that party took a lot out of me. Game of squash, 4 o'clock.
You're on. Come on, David.
Is that a certain very lovely angel of mercy?
Mac, why haven't you called me before this? This is my first morning without a wake-up call.
I'm sorry, darling. I was worrying about something. I hope I didn't worry you.
Frankly, I haven't had time. The hospital phoned early and asked me to come in, and I haven't had a chance to catch my breath since.
Well, now's your chance. It's almost lunchtime, or didn't you know? How about catching your breath with me? Tell you what, I'll have Brooks drive me over. I'll stop along the way at a deli, pick up a lot of things, meet you in the parking lot. We'll have lunch in the car.
I've never had lunch in a limousine.
You'll love it, I promise you.
Well, but I can't get away until 1:30.
Well, that'll take a bit of juggling, but fine.
Wait, Mac, I was about to say that I already have plans.
All right. What about dinner?
You have a date. I've never had dinner in a limo either.
Well, we'll have to put that off till Can you get by the office, say, 6:30?
I'll be there.
See you then.
You want to have lunch with me today, Dan?
Tell you the truth, just lost my appetite.
Oh, what's the matter? Problems?
Well, let's just say a potential problem.
Old Chinese proverb. Cross that bridge when you come to it. Yeah.
That's an excellent suggestion. I knew I was doing the right thing when I got you over here.
I'm worth my weight in manuscripts, aren't I?
You are. But don't forget Bravo. How about becoming worth your weight in magazines? I want you to continue getting familiar with every aspect of Corey Enterprises, just as you've been doing. But it would be helpful to Pat and me right now if you could sit in on some Bravo editorial meetings.
Well, sure, but I think I should be honest with you, Mac. I never looked at an issue of Bravo once I started working for the Ledger.
You should be ashamed of yourself. Well, we're moving in a new direction now. But don't waste a lot of energy gearing up. This time around, your job is going to be more administrative than it is in the creative field. I want you to act as liaison between my office and the editors. That'll free me for other things.
For no other reason than I'm curious. You mind telling me what other things?
No, not at all. Books. Their choice, development, putting some new writers on our list. I'd even like to take a hand in the promotional work. I can, if you'll keep me up on the magazine. What do you say?
Well, I say, I'm a little overwhelmed, but I'll give it a try, Mac.
And you'll be a resounding success. You're my son, aren't you? You know what? Suddenly, I feel very hungry. What do you say we get a bite in the coffee shop,
Have I ever refused you anything, most noble father?
Hope they got Chinese food.
I'm by.
Maybe we better slow down just a little bit. I mean, what if somebody should walk in?
Well, everyone's busy and the door is locked.
What if they have a key?
Well, I'll tell them you're having a private conference with your lawyer.
I don't have a lawyer, Denny. And besides, everybody knows that you work for Black. Wait a minute. If there is no Edward Black, wouldn't it be Frame Hawk?
Come on, wise guy.
Wise guy.
Whatever, get your coat. Mr. Edward Stephen Black Frame only gives me an hour for lunch, unless, of course, it's business.
Well, what an ogre. I mean, you're an executive. He should give you all the time you want.
Why don't you tell him that?
Well, maybe I will.
Of course,
He was
of
married
course.
to my mother.
That is stupid of me. I should have known that. Why else would your name be Frame?
That's right.
I'll tell you what, listen. You go, and you bat those big, beautiful blue eyes at him, and you say, Daddy, or whatever you call him. You give Denny Hobson longer lunches, you hear?
So he can spend them all with me?
Exactly. And while you're at it, why don't you throw in more pay?
So he can take me to Tellboy.
And less work, so I don't have to spend so many of my nights at that office.
Right, so you can spend them all with me.
Hello, Steve. You surprised me. You didn't surprise me at all. I've been down here a dozen times before. Expected to meet up with you any one of those times. Even before I got the news about who you really were. The face has changed. Personality remains the same. Even when you were Mr. Edward Black, I expected him to be down here, alone, planning his building, just like Steve would. So I didn't fool you, huh? Yeah, you fooled me. Hey, this is going to be some big job. Huh? Oh, tremendous. Well, I don't know of anybody who's better suited for it. Never did. Hey, I don't have to tell you, I feel the same way about you. There have been so many times in the last 12 years when I wanted to scream, "Get me Harry Shea!" I think I did once or twice. Oh, by the looks of things, you didn't need me. You did all right. How about you? The years have been good to you. I understand you're coming up in the union. Well, I've made a living, you know. Loretta, how is she? Oh, she's more beautiful than ever. Pete, 17 years old. Little Petey? Yeah,
Of course he is.
And he's got 2 sisters, too.
Great. That's good. That's good.
How about you? Any kids back there in Australia?
I have one. Diana. She's not mine, really. She's my stepdaughter. Her mother, Pamela, died this past spring.
Oh, I'm sorry, Steve.
So I'm bringing Diana to Bay City. I'm getting things ready for her now. I'm getting things ready for her and her horse.
She's a horse nut. So is Pete. All animals. He was studying to be a veterinarian at... Well, the money ran out. So he's working with me now. He's an apprentice in the union. Steve, I figure, you know, if he's determined, something will come up.
Oh, sure it will. Sure it will. We figured it out.
Yeah. Well, you more than me, huh? We should get those 2 together, Steve. Loving animals and all.
Oh, yeah, sure we will. We will. Sure we will.
I just came by to take a look, Steve. I got to get back to the office.
I feel good, Harry. Feels good to be 50 feet from a hole that's going to be a building. Hell, it's going to be a skyscraper. It's going to be a monument. Feels good to be back.
It's really good to have you back, Steve. And I mean that. But just remember it when we're sitting at opposite ends of a negotiating table.
Wait a minute, you clown. Don't drop that on me and then walk out. You know something I don't know?
I don't know any more than you do, Steve. It's up to the men.
Will you tell the men something for me? We have a penalty clause on this project. And if there's a strike, we're all going to lose our shirts. You hear me?
I hear you. Oh! Hold everything. Close your eyes.
What?
I got a little welcoming back present for you. Close your eyes.
Try to kiss me, I'll scream.
Hold still now.
What? The gums! The gums cap!
I've been carrying that thing around with me in case I met up with you. Hold that.
Ah! I used to be such a sucker for the Cubs.
There seems to be something I've forgotten.
What?
How big-headed you are.
Sandy, you want to see me?
Yes, I did, Counselor. Thanks for coming by. Please, sit down, Brian. Yeah, I did want to see you.
Oh, now don't tell me you already won out of your contract.
No, although I won't say that it hasn't crossed my mind.
Now, how's it really going, Sandy?
Can I be honest?
Sure, go ahead. Although I hope you're going to say that you like it at least half as well as you do the Ledger.
I'll tell you, it's an adjustment. I think it's fair to say that I like it about a third as well.
Well, I don't really know anything about the newspaper world.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. The main motivating factor is not the money. It's, I don't know, somehow more immediate. Some people might argue it's also more important. Well, one thing's for sure, there's a lot less baloney, you know? There's less lunches and meetings and drinks and dinner and meetings. I said meetings twice. I mean, the meetings around here have meetings.
Well, now, any other complaints?
Oh, well, now let me put it this way. I'm not sure how I feel about all this talk about me being groomed to take Jamie's place.
Well, Sandy, as I understand it, Jamie has made it very clear that he wants no part of Corey Publishing.
I know what he's been saying. I also know that Mac is pleased, and I guess that's enough for now. You know, Brian, if you weren't such a good attorney, you'd make a great psychiatrist. Tell you, I feel a lot better.
Well, I'm glad I helped, but I don't know that I've done anything except listen. Now, is there anything legal I can do?
Oh, yeah, that. Yes. Yes, there is something that you can do for me. The thing about the sympathetic ear was a bonus.
Go ahead. What is it?
Well, Brian, I need to know when Cecile's divorce is going to be final. I need to know the exact day that the papers are going to come through.
Well, that shouldn't be too hard to find out. May I ask the reason?
I'm going to marry her that same day.
Forgive me, Sandy. This comes as quite a surprise. Look, may I offer a bit of advice? Perhaps you should give your relationship with Cecile what I'd suggest you give this job. A little patience, a little time.
Are you suggesting that I might grow to like one more, the other less?
No, not at all.
Brian, that's a luxury I don't have. At least not with Cecile. See? Do me a favor, would you, Brian? Get back to me as soon as you can with those dates, okay?
You know, it's amazing. Amazing how little things change. I thought Bay City would be a suburb of Chicago by now.
It almost is.
Yeah, almost. It's grown, yeah.
It's also grown older.
Yeah, I know. It's not so bright and shiny as I remember. Well, let's see what I can do about that.
I see you haven't changed at all. You honestly think that you can turn this town around all by yourself?
Why can't I? Why not? Why not? I'm going to bring money in. I'm going to put a lot of people to work.
Speaking of which, I have to get back soon.
Why don't you eat something first?
Right. You too.
Mm-hmm.
It's not very good, is it?
Not very good, no. Brings back a lot of memories. You're cooking.
Thanks a lot.
You remember all this sandwiches we nibbled in this cafeteria? We used to sneak over from the office.
Please, Stephen.
Tried to get the most unromantic spots you could think of. Huh? Even it has memories. Romantic memories.
Well, I see promises mean nothing to you. Still the same Stephen I knew.
And love?
Let me go.
Not till you've heard what I'm going to say. Ever since I first met you held up a corner of my life. No matter who I was with, no matter where I was, no matter who I loved, I've always loved you. Another continent couldn't change the way I feel. Nor 12 years.
I think you've got it all wrong, Stephen. You have let what we were get all out of proportion.
We were everything. We still.
Then why am I over you? Because I am. I have been for a long time. You know me. You know I wouldn't. I couldn't marry a man I don't love.
I know you love Mac. I know that. But you love him in little tiny letters. Your love for me is in great big capitals a billboard couldn't even hold.
Lie. When are you coming back?
Frankie Cavallo's in your outer office.
Oh, well, I better see him.
I'll send him in.
Yeah.
Sorry to bother you, Mr. Frame. Hey, I like your cap.
Oh, yeah. Maybe it'll bring him luck next season.
Yeah, maybe.
Hey, is there something you want to see me about, Frankie?
It's James. James Frame. He's been late all week, sometimes for as much as an hour. I wouldn't bring it up, but some of the other men are complaining.
Fire him.
But, isn't he your son?
I said fire him.
What'd you say, Dolly? Steve Frame won't give interviews. Mom won't answer the phone so I can ask her what to do next. I don't know, maybe we should just interview her about him.
Would you make sure that Cecile gets these papers, please?
Liz, she doesn't want these. She wants to see Steve Frame in her appointment book. I don't know what to do.
Well, forget it. It wasn't a very good idea anyway.
Yeah, well, it really doesn't matter what either of us think. I mean, I work for Cecile. I have to do what she tells me to do.
Sally, I, everyone here, work for Mackenzie Corey, including High and Mighty Miss Cecile. Bet my last nickel he wouldn't like this idea at all. Not at all. So don't waste your time making any more phone calls. Bye.
You know the Jets are really going to be...
Anybody hit a home run yet?
Be an excellent time to put that ball up in the air.
Bill Dugan, the guard, comes in as the tight end. He reports to the official.
Hey, Mike, you turn that down.
No, wait. Oh, not yet. This is the exciting part.
You can also give me a bourbon on the rocks.
Ah. Guess whoever that phone call was, it wasn't good news.
It wasn't. Blackhawk job is off.
Oh, Jason, no. Did they tell you why?
No, they just changed their minds. They don't want me.
Think it has anything to do with the fact that you used to work for the company?
Yeah, I do. Well, I don't know what we're going to do now.
We'll do what we always do. We'll get by.
I don't know, babe. I don't know about that at all. You could do okay, though. Get a job somewhere. There's no reason for you to be dragged down by me. I bet you could even make a go of this place. You haven't got any business for the same reason I didn't get the job. I cashed in all my chips the day I testified. There's no reason for you to cash in all yours.
You go someplace else? Leave town?
On the run again.
I'm back on the streets again. Gonna stand on my own 2 feet again. No, Jason Dunlap. I'd rather be on the run with you than on that street alone. Even if the street's a penthouse. You are stuck with me. So if you want to ride it out here in Bay City, we can ride it out together. And if you want to leave, it's going to take me 5 minutes to get my bags packed.
I thought you were the one who was supposed to be stuck with me.
Must have had a bad day. You haven't said 2 words to me.
My day was like any other day. But last night was like no other night I've experienced. My fiancé's husband,
Ex-husband?
only because you didn't know he was still alive, appears in the guise of another man. Well, I have to confront it, don't I? And now, it'll be less painful that way. I wanted to confront it last night, but you were too tired, and I wanted to confront it at lunch. But you had another date.
My lunch was with Stephen. There is nothing between Stephen and me, Mac, except the past.
We all have past. I can handle that. But are you very sure about the present? Reasonably sure about the future? I want you to think about it very carefully. I want you to have time to be absolutely positive.
I'm here, aren't I?
Yes. Yes, you are here. Does that mean that the wedding is still on as planned? I mean, I have had doubts myself over the past 24 hours.
The wedding is very definitely on. It was never off. It's just that I was concerned about getting married and trying to go off on a honeymoon in the middle of a blizzard. Actually, even in March, the weather still could be pretty bad.
You know, I was under the impression that it was the vow, not the weather, which is of importance.
Mac, I'm sorry. Of course you're right. I didn't mean to make it sound like I was trying to put it off. I've hurt you.
Not nearly as much as I'd be hurt if you married me on schedule and still loved another man.
Quite lady, and you've saved my skin on numerous occasions.
We're all on the same team.
Just consider that I owe you one.
Don't worry. I'll come by and collect one day.
Mm-hmm. Did you know he was Frame all along?
No way. I found out when everybody else did.
But besides Eldon, you're the closest to him. You worked for him before you worked for me?
It doesn't mean he let me read his diary.
Yeah, but weren't you the least bit hurt that he didn't tell you?
Obviously, he had his reasons.
You sure are one cool cookie. One day he's Mr. Black, the next day he's Mr. Frame, and you don't even miss a beat.
Maybe that's because nothing that man could do would surprise me.
What do you think of him?
I just told you. I think he's unpredictable.
What else?
Demanding, brilliant, egotistical, standard mogul stuff.
Do you like him?
I respect him.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel undying loyalty toward him?
I'm a loyal employee, if that's what you're asking.
Uh-huh. But who do you feel you should be most loyal to? Your boss or the business?
I would hope they're the same.
Ah.
Did I pass the test?
Well, as I was saying, you're quite a lady, Quinn.
See, somebody up there must have heard us.
Yeah, yeah, but remember, it's still happy hour.
This is the happiest hour we've had in 3 months. I almost thought I was going to have to take in laundry.
Don't get too excited. You still might have to. This could be a fluke.
Come on, Roy, what? Give us a great big fat kiss.
Come in, Cecile.
How'd you know that was me? I was trying to act like a stray kitty.
You know, there is something about you that's sort of feline.
Is that a compliment?
Well, of course, from the male of the species to the female. Hello.
Hello. I'm so tired. I have to sit down. Oh, I don't have the stamina I used to.
Oh.
I'm so dead at the end of the day.
It is long past the end of the day.
Ah, sure is. No wonder there's no one around this office. Well, they obviously don't have the work that you and I both do. What are you doing? You learning anything?
Well, I am currently going through the 19th issue of of our scintillating magazine, and I am suffering from a severe case of Bravo overkill. Is what I'm going through.
Oh, poor baby. Well, why don't you just go home? Huh? Well, I'll be clearer in the morning.
I hope so.
As for me, I have so many manuscripts to edit, I can't...
Oh, no, you don't. Oh, no, you don't. No, you don't. I think it's time we both called it a day, baby.
Oh, you're so sweet. You do care about me, don't you? Or is it just our baby?
I care about you both. And, my darling mother-to-be, I'm sorry to pull rank on you, but I am the boss's son.
Well, too
now,
bad.
don't
I have too many...
argue.
Sandy.
Don't argue. You said it yourself this morning. Now, I am ordering you to go home, and in the future, you'll take better care of yourself, all right?
And what am I supposed to do about those articles?
I don't know. Let some other editor take care of them. From here on out, your prime responsibility is taking care of the air's air. No more late work hours. No more wild partying like you did last night.
Oh.
Oh, there is one thing that I'm going to have to ask you to do, though, sweetheart.
What? Wow.
Well, there's nobody else that can do it. See,
Oh.
I know. I'm going to have to ask you to go with me and stand before a justice of the peace or a minister or whatever and become my wife. It's not going to take too much of your time. It won't be too much trouble. I promise you. It's going to be a simple ceremony, short.
You mean...
I mean, I've asked Brian Bancroft to tell me the exact date on which the current Mrs. James Frame can become the brand spanking new Mrs. Alexander Sanderson Corey.
Oh, Mr. Corey. You're so wonderful. Oh, that's wonderful. I'm so happy.
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Another World.